I'm Tina.
And I'm Priscilla,
And we are?
the Sensei Sisters.
We have a very special guest today. Priscilla, would you please introduce Mariah?
I would love to. This is our guest, Mariah Theriot. She is a book lady. I like to call her my favorite book lady. And she works for UBAM Books. They have a great array of books. I don't want to say too much because I'll be spoiling it for everybody. Mariah, just tell us what is the company you work for? What do they have to offer? I know this is like a really
So I'm an independent consultant with Usborne Books and More, which we also sometimes call UBAM, just to shorten all that longness. And we're a children's book company, and we sell books for infants all the way up through like young adulthood. And we're an awesome company, a really cool organization, and we mostly do online sales. And we have about close to like 3,000 books on our website.
That's amazing. That is amazing. So is it all fiction books or?
Oh no. We have tons. So we have everything from like cloth, baby time, crinkly little books. We have read aloud picture books. We've got tons of nonfiction. That's one of the things that we're really known for is our incredible nonfiction. We've got all kinds of learning books, encyclopedias, dictionaries, thesauruses, chapter books, graphic novels, like all kinds of fun stuff. So it's like anything you can think of, we probably have it.
Is it primarily books in print, or are there audiobooks, or is it strictly books in print?
A lot of our books, so mostly our stuff is print, but a lot of our books are now starting to come with internet links. So like where you can scan a QR code and it'll play it on your phone, like give you the audio version. And that'll also bring up websites where you can go like watch videos. Like I have one book that I really love, and it's See Inside the Human Body. And you can scan it and it'll pull up like extra videos you can watch, podcasts you can listen to. So they're really trying to incorporate some technology into the books, which is really good. It's a good way to hook in those kids and get them excited.
Yeah, it's also different ways for them to learn, right? If they're just looking at a book, they might get if you say, okay, let's scan this and watch a video. I really like that idea. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're super interactive and like really hands-on. Because like one big push that our company has is really making the books as engaging as possible. So it's like if the kid's not engaged with what they're reading, like they're not going to read it, and they're definitely not going to learn anything from it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. One of my favorites that you guys have, I don't have any for my kids because, well, although I would love to play with them myself. My kids are older, but for my great niece and nephew for Christmas, I got them a couple of the flashlight books. Can you tell us about those? Because those are really
they're so fun. I actually have one if y'all want to look at it. So we have this series of books, and they're called our Shine a Light books, and they're so cool because in order to see like the full illustration, you have to shine a flashlight behind the pages. So it's really neat. There's all kinds of like hidden images in there. This one is our Wonders of the World, but we have a ton of these. We've got At the Library, Inside the Human Body. We have Secrets of the Seashore, really fun ones. I like this one especially because you can see all the different wonders, but you can kind of see them like in their prime. So let me see. I got this crazy flashlight thing that my husband got me. Let me see. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but it'll show you like the people in the Coliseum. It'll show the little gladiators down at the bottom. These are super fun. I really like them. And then on the back, there's even more information for you to read, and you can kind of see that little hidden image in there. But these are really fun. And what I like is it appeals to a whole wide range of ages too. Because it's like you can read this with a 4-year-old and they will think it's the coolest thing. Give it to an 8-year-old, they think it's the coolest thing. So yeah, that's just one of our fun books.
That's awesome. I like that. I want a book like that for adults.
I know, right? They're so fun.
I have a friend who's an artist, and she did a book with a lot of her artwork. And man, she needs to figure out how to do that flashlight thing. That would be
I
cool.
know. That would be awesome.
Well, how did you get started with the company?
So I actually went to a book party. A girl that teaches with me, because when I'm not a book lady, I'm a pre-K teacher. And so a girl that works at my school invited me to a Facebook party, and I had never heard of them before. She just said they were going to be kids' books. And I was like, okay, well, I have a 1-month-old, so let me go to that. So I went to it and had like a ton of fun. I went to my husband and told him, I'm like, hey, I want to get this book and this book and this book. And he was like, whoa, 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 whoa. We just had a baby. Like, you need to calm down. And so I got about half of my wish list that I actually wanted. And then I wound up doing my own party and just loving it so much and deciding to join from there. I was like, you know what? I really like these books. I really see myself buying them like for my son's whole life. So I'm like, I might as well, make that leap now, save a little bit of money. And also I was like looking for a way to make some extra income too, because I'm like, oh my God, I got a whole nother little person now that's expensive, gonna get more expensive. So I was like, let me find a way to make some more money and then also maybe talk my husband into giving me another baby. That was kind of my other alternative. He's like, hold on,
I was going to say, you know, we were recording, right?
So he knows.
More kids to read all the books.
Yeah, like, come on.
It's like triple fold.
So as a teacher, do you use the books in your class? Do you bring them to school?
I do. And they're the kids' favorite books. They get so excited. I'll put them like in our little library center so the kids can go over there and read them whenever they want. And I also like to pull them and do like special story times with them. I showed y'all the Shine a Light book. I have one of those that's all about gardens because we just did a unit all on farms. And so I was able to show them like, different things on a farm. It was really cool. So I like doing that just because it's kind of, our curriculum that we have is really good for pre-K, but it's sometimes like you get so bored with the same books. You really want to like bring in something exciting. And like the flashlight books, they go crazy for that because I turn off the lights in the classroom and they can see the pictures. And so just stuff like that. I have flat books where they can like lift up the flaps and look underneath it. They get really excited about that. They love the UBAM books.
So your students go home and they tell their mom, I really love this flashlight books. And then
Yeah.
they come to you, where do we buy these flashlight books?
Right. Yeah.
Self-advertising, right?
Right.
That the thing that she liked about it was that she didn't have a struggle picking the books because you were so helpful with that. So tell us about that, your personal shopper aspect of it.
So in every party, your book lady, whoever she is, she will offer to give you personalized recommendations for your family. So she'll ask things like, how old are your kids? What are some things that they're into? What are some things that they're struggling with? Even important things going on in your life. We probably have a book to talk about that. We've got books about divorce and grief and loss and terminal illness, just anything that's going on, even like moving into a new house or getting a new puppy, fun stuff like that. So that's kind of a service that we offer in our parties is providing you with personalized recommendations just to save you some time, especially for people that are new to UBAM. It can be a little overwhelming because we got so many books. So it'll save you a little trouble there, and your book lady can help you find exactly what you need.
That's awesome. I wish I had little kids to buy books for.
Some of the young adult ones are really good. I get them for myself because they're really good.
Yeah, I can testify to that. Mariah, when I attended a party on Facebook for my friend Brittany, and my original thinking was, well, I'll go take a look because I love books. Y'all know I'm a big book nerd, and I'm wearing Harry Potter socks at this moment. So I'm all into the books, and I feel like books are such a great investment in your kids. I mean, they need clothes and they need food. That's just basics, but books I feel are pretty high up too, because it sets them up for learning all through their life. Reading, we had a whole episode about reading is fundamental. And so I was interested, and I was like, but I was a little skeptical because I was like, I've never heard of this. I wonder what the quality is like, you know, the quality of the writing, is it really going to be interesting? And so I was a little, you know, like, I don't know, but I'll check it out. And then went to the party, and Mariah was just so fun and nice and personable and sweet. And I was just like, oh, she's so awesome. You know, and I wanted to help Brittany out and buy a few things. And I was like, I'm just going to go look. And I'm like, looking like, oh my gosh, there's so many books. I will die. Like, if my brain can't handle it. And I have enough going on in my life without having to try and go through 3,000 books and figure out, you know, and decision is not one of my strong suits, you know. I need a little help sometimes. So I accepted Mariah's assistance, and she said, you know, what do you kids like? And, you know, my kids like fantasy, sci-fi, you know, Chloe really likes mystery. And so I've got one who's an early teenager and one who's heading into his preteens. Oh my gosh, I don't know how that happened. So I need something a little bit on the more mature end. And Joey's got some really fun books that he loved. The stuff that we got, I ordered 3 books for each of them at that time. And there were several series mixed in there. And we ended up getting all of the series because they were so good. Like, just sucked us in. Couldn't stop reading. That we're still, me and Chloe, I'm still reading to her. She's 13. I still read to her out loud. I feel like it's a good thing to do that, as long as you can get them to sit still for you. And she likes it too. She likes me doing voices and stuff. She thinks I'm fun.
That's awesome.
So, the ones we're reading right now, if anybody is watching us today and you want some really good mystery for a young person, I guess boys would enjoy them too, because they're male characters as well, but the main characters are female. But it's the first book is the Clockwork Sparrow, right? That's the first. I don't remember if there's a title to the series. Is there, or is it just?
It's the whole series is the Clockwork Sparrow, and the first one has that same title.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, so I think we're on the 3rd book now. Or the 4th one? I don't know. No, we're on the 4th one. I'm losing track because there's so, but it's a good thick book, and it's set in the 1800s, and it's a young lady who she gets thrown into this whole mystery of this thing happening, and somehow her life is mysteriously intertwined with it, and the mystery of that stretches through all the books, even though there's individual plots for each book. And it's so good. Like, Chloe and I can't wait to sit down at night and read a chapter or 2 or 3, or I'm looking at my watch. I look at my phone and go, oh my gosh, I need to go to bed. You know?
So talking about that, at this point, I've always admired the way Priscilla reads with her kids, and I did with my youngest one. My oldest wasn't, he liked reading on his own, but my youngest one did not read well. And so it got him interested in the Harry Potter series and all that, Captain Underpants.
Those are fun.
But one of my son's teachers actually fussed at me for letting him read that. And I'm like, okay, first of all, Scholastic sells it. And second of all, he's reading. So we're not going to argue about it. But Priscilla, it gets him excited. It gets Chloe excited. And you guys have something to talk about besides. And so I agree 100%. Now, I have a confession, is that when you kept referring to Mariah as the book lady, I pictured an old, frumpy woman. So then when she came on camera, and I was like, oh, wow. Not at all what I pictured.
So funny. Y'all are so funny. Oh, my gosh.
But I love the whole concept of the personal shopper. And I mean, it's awesome. It really is. I love that.
I have a curious question. Mariah, what was your favorite books growing up?
Growing up, there was a bunch. I was definitely obsessed with Nancy Drew, and I probably read every single book in the series. Like, I still can think about going into the library and like that smell from those books. Like I love those books so much. I'm trying to think of some other ones that I really liked. When I was really, really little, I loved Rainbow Fish. That was like my favorite one when I was like in kindergarten and first grade, because I love the shiny little scales on Rainbow Fish. And that was actually the first book that I got for Benjamin, my son. I made sure I'm like, he's getting that Rainbow Fish book. And then when I got older, of course, I loved the Harry Potter books. I loved all the Lord of the Rings books and things like that. When I was more like high school aged, I really got into like kind of the old classic books. I love sci-fi and things like that. So I really like the Edgar Rice Burroughs books, like the John Carter series and the Tarzan books and all that stuff. So those are my favorites. I'm just a nerd. I'm a nerd down in heart.
You're so well-rounded.
I wanted a boyfriend so desperately that I liked the Beverly Cleary books, because a lot of times they had but for the teenage years, those were really good. Boy Next Door and but I was a huge Beverly Cleary fan, and Judy Blume when I was younger. Anything by Judy Blume when I was younger. And my kids loved Judy Blume too when they were little. And Priscilla and I, so Priscilla is 12 years younger than me, but her oldest daughter and my youngest son, or what did we decide the other day? We were talking about 15, 18 months apart, whatever.
Oh, wow.
So in fact, yeah, so my kids are adopted, and my youngest son, when he was born, we didn't know we were getting a baby until like 2 or 3 weeks before. And we had already planned a trip to Florida to see Priscilla, but to also go to Disney World. And so not only did we find out we were getting a baby, he was 6.5 weeks premature. And so here I was with this baby, and we're like, do we reschedule what? And I can't take a brand new preemie to Disney World. So he was with us for about 2 or 3 weeks, and we ended up taking him to Florida, dropping him at Priscilla's house, and she kept him the whole time we were in Florida, and we went back and forth from her house to Disney World. But it was so he and Renee kind of have that little bond. Renee was a baby, and she was playing with him when he was tiny. But it's so funny because they grew up together, and our favorite books that we all loved were the Junie B. Jones.
Those are so fun.
Oh my gosh, we had so much fun with those books. And I think my interest started in them when Wendy's was giving away the audio books on CD in the kids' meals. And I told people, I'm like, oh my God, this book is so awesome. It's just the whole series. So we got all excited about it. And we read every single Junie B. Jones series. And when my son said, Mom, I'm done with Junie B. Jones, I'm 12. I don't I'm like, but I want to keep reading Junie B. Jones. I read all the series without him, but that was one of my favorites too. So I was like going back to my childhood. But great books, and so awesome that you are there to help people and direct them. I mean, it's just, as Priscilla said, it's so important. Reading is so essential. It is. And like we're talking about reading aloud, like even after your kids are able to read on their own, they've done so many studies on that. That's like so important, because once kids are reading on their own, like in order for them to be exposed to more vocabulary, richer text, everything, it's really important that we read to them. And it's also showing them that we value reading. As adults, we engage in it for enjoyment. Like we do it not because we have to, because our job's making us. We do it because we like to. And they've done so many studies, and they've shown like adults that love to read have kids that love to read. And so that's really awesome that y'all do that.
I apologize if y'all hear a dinosaur every once in a while. I'm not sure where that's coming. I hit something when I walked in the room. All the toys are. Mariah, we were talking before about the parties on Facebook. Can you give us a quick idea of what that entails so that people know?
Yeah, absolutely. So what's really cool, and it's kind of helped make our company a little bit like pandemic pandemic safe, like pandemic free, is that we do parties through Facebook. So the way that it works is somebody will, sign up to host a party, and I kind of run the whole thing for them. I set up our group page or our event page. They will invite their friends and family to come. I'll hop on, do some videos showing off the different books. There's games to play, all kinds of things to look at, and just to find out about the books, and just kind of have fun, which it's like we really kind of need socialization time. Like I feel like so many people are desperate for that, and people are also kind of like just wanting a shopping experience. Like some people are scared to get out and go into actual bookstores or things like that, or because of health reasons they're not able to. And so it's really fun. I hear from people all the time that it's a way for them to connect with family and friends that they have like across the country. They come to the party. There's like a live event that goes on, and people just order straight through the shopping link. It brings them right to the UBAM site, and they order, and the books come right to their house. So it's really, really cool. And we also have awesome shipping. Our shipping is amazing. Usually you get your books within like a week of ordering, depending on where you are in the country. I know for me, it's usually about like 4 or 5 days for them to get to us in Louisiana. So really fast.
So and about that, how do you engage with the party goers to help them as a personal shopper? Do you is it more self-serve, or are you able to do that experience over the web?
So what I will do is I'll usually put up a post in the party that's just asking people to tell me about their kids or drop a picture of their kids, and so that everybody can just see each other. And then I'll also reach out to them through private message to get some more information. And that's where I'll share a little link to a wish list that I put together for them. And that'll have like all their book recommendations so that they can go straight to those books and check them out and figure out which ones they want, which ones they don't.
Oh, I like that. So they don't have to go like, you don't recommend a title and then they have to go search that title.
No, it's all like, it's all there for them. So like if they click on it, they can see the book, see a couple pictures inside, see the reviews on it. And you can literally like in one click, add it to your shopping cart. So it saves a lot of trouble.
Love it, love it, love it. Awesome.
Yeah.
I need to have another baby. I'm only going to be 60 this year. It's early enough. I need grandchildren.
I had a party. I was a hostess, and that was I booked that party after I went to Brittany's party. So I have attended as a guest. I have been a hostess, and I have attended a mystery hostess, which I'll let you talk about that too. But I wanted to point out that it's not just going, there goes that dinosaur again. I don't know what that is. Pardon him.
He's excited about the books.
Yeah.
He's like getting in on this.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's a Jurassic World game. I think anyway, so the Facebook party, you're in a group, and it's a Facebook group. And it's not just Mariah posting things. It's very interactive, and it makes it really fun. And the little video clips are short. They're not real long, but each one gives you some insight into each of the different lines of books that they have. And then at the end, there's usually a question, and it's not, sometimes there is one that's a trivia question, which was really hard.
I know. We have some hard ones, and I'm like, cheat. And then when people get it exactly right, I'm like, I'm like, how did you know? Yeah. That's what I'm like. You are either an expert in this, or you're really good with Google.
Or they've been to a bunch of parties.
or yeah, you've been to a lot of parties.
The most recent, the mystery hostess you just did, I couldn't remember the answer, and I knew it was I had a rough estimate idea, but I ended up being wrong, and I didn't Google it. But but the questions are really cool because they're usually personal, so that you can share something about you, maybe what your favorite books were when you were a kid, or what you wanted to be when you grew up and stuff. So it makes it really party. It gives that party atmosphere. It makes it feel real friendly and warm, and not just, oh, look, here's this stuff, which is helpful in some situations, but with the book party in particular, I feel like it really adds to the experience. And I really enjoyed being a hostess. Mariah, what is the benefit of being a hostess?
So our company is insane, y'all. Like, I don't know how they do all this, but they're super generous with hosts because the mission of the company is just spreading children's literacy. Like, the company recognizes that there's a huge literacy deficit in our country. There's so many kids growing up that don't have access to good books. Some, families don't even have books in their homes. And so the company is really, really generous with hosting rewards. So if you decide to host a party, based on the sales of your party, the company will give you free and half price books. And they're like crazy generous. Like, usually, whatever the sales are, my hosts usually make a little bit under like half of that in rewards. So it's crazy. And a lot of people are nervous about it at first. They're like, there's no way in life this is going to work. I'm not going to get any books out of it. But once they do it, they're like, okay, this is awesome. Like, you definitely should host a party. Like, it's really, really fun. But that's just something that our company does to thank you for introducing us to more people. Thank you for putting more books into the hands of kids. So it's really, really awesome.
Okay, you got to tell about the mystery hostess, because now I'm dying to know what that's about.
So every time that we have new titles come out, I will do a mystery host party, and it's really fun. It runs just like a regular party, but at the end of it, all the people that have been in the party and that have commented on things and purchased things, but you don't even have to purchase to do it. Just like being in the party, they get like put into a hat, all their entries, and I draw a winner, and that person gets all the rewards. So it's awesome. You don't know who's gonna like get them, and it's really, really fun. The last few parties I've done, given away around like $200 to $400 in free books. So really fun. I love my mystery host parties. It's just really, really fun.
Idea too, because Priscilla and I both have been in direct sales, and so we know how much of a struggle it is to try to get somebody to host or whatever. And it's a really great idea because it opens it up to everybody, and then everybody has a shot. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's awesome.
Very good.
Yeah, I can attest to the benefit of getting. I don't remember how many people actually attended, on Facebook for my party. I want to say it was like 12 or something. And I got so many books, and the kids were like freaking out. When the box came, they were like, "What is that?" And I was like, "That's your books." Like.
It was so funny because after she went to the first party, Priscilla's like, I'm gonna have to host because my kids want every book in the series now, of every series. So, and so she said, the only way I'm gonna do this is if I host. And then she was so excited when she found out everything she was getting. But that is so awesome.
And Priscilla is a very dedicated host. She's amazing because we had a hurricane come in the middle of her party, and she was literally like commenting and like participating, talking to her guests from her car. She was sitting in her car with her phone plugged in. Like, it was like no power, it was just trees are down everywhere. So she's very, very dedicated. And it was still an amazing party. It was like one of my best parties. It's like even a hurricane couldn't stop all the fun.
I'm Priscilla's #1 fan, so I believe it.
Well, Mariah's the best book lady. I'm Tina's #1 fan of Tina.
I'm trying to decide if
party now.
like, so if we advertise this in advance, so I'm trying to decide, should we post a picture of her or let everybody think like I did that she's some old frumpy lady? What did you?
I did just have a birthday, so I'm kind of like, you know,
okay.
gotta have.
I'm gonna be 60. I told y'all that, and I can't even do a big party because of the stupid COVID. Oh wow.
I know. Oh.
My husband says you can't have a party anyway because you said you weren't going to have any birthdays after 39. I said, yeah, that's true. I said that. But this is a really big milestone.
Yeah, that's a big one. And I will say, bringing that up, I have done book parties as birthday parties before. And that's really fun. Those have been like hugely successful. Also, baby showers are really fun. But the way that they work is like you share the little boy or little girl's wish list. And so people can come and like order books straight off the wish list for them, or they can just buy books for their own kids. And the mom is still going to earn all those book rewards for the free and half price. So usually it works out really good for the birthday boy or birthday girl. They walk away with a lot of books.
Well, cool. Yeah. You have a lot of great ideas. This is really cool. That's really cool. Well, thank you so much, Priscilla. Did you have any other questions for Mariah?
I can't think of anything. Oh, I do have one. Do you have any mistress that came out wrong. Mystery hostess parties coming up?
I do. So next month, we've got brand new titles coming out. I don't have an official date of when they're coming out. But it's supposed to be the beginning of March. So usually like towards the middle or the end of March is when I should be having another party.
Wow. So, and how do people follow you and make sure that they find out about this mystery hostess party that's coming up, and also about all the new books that are coming out?
So an easy way to find me is on Facebook. You can find my personal Facebook page under Mariah Fraser Theriot, or you can go to my VIP group, and that's where I'll share all kinds of fun like literacy tips and customer specials, and then also, of course, information about the Mystery Host Party. And so that group is called UBAM with Mariah. And that's also my email address. So if anybody has any questions or needs, help or anything like that, it's just UBAM with MARIAH at Gmail. So those are the best ways to find me.
Well, we'll definitely share all those links when we post the video. And we being here today. I'm so glad.
Thank y'all so much for having me on. I love y'all's page. I love watching all y'all's things. Y'all are just so much fun. Y'all make me think of my own sisters because but y'all are way more professional. Way more professional. We'd be like, we would not have the same following for sure.
We keep telling our own children how siblings have to get along, and look at Priscilla and I. Priscilla says, look at Antica and I. We get along so good. And they're like, but we think it's important. And I don't know if it helps that we're 12 years apart. That makes us get along better. But it's always like my little baby doll. It was great to have you with us today. And we look forward to hearing more about your successes and all the new books that are coming out. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great day.
You too. Talk soon. Thanks so much for joining us today, you guys. We hope you enjoyed our conversation with Mariah, the book lady. For now, make yourself a priority.
Take care of you.